Look, competition gets soft when we breaking them off. Tell the fast back off that you want the guitars. To the chest, no rest. Feel me next to me, John. Come test, player pass me the ball. We don't run from the law, it's the law. God, we don't run from the law, it's the law. God, we don't run from the law, it's the law. God, we don't run from the law. You're irrelevant, you the consuming, you and your delegates. Fellowship, me and my trooper, we keep intelligent, elegant. Heavy shit dropping just like an elephant. Pelican, assassinate the nation for the hell of it. We don't run from the law, it's the law.
Cool. Mythical match week, fantasy fight week. So today we've got 3 fights that we're gonna sort of discuss. A couple that not necessarily could have happened because they, based on the matchups, they were different eras. So we're gonna see how we all thought they would have played out, and then we've got one future fight which we think will be a really exciting one that we hope comes together. And then we'll start on that one actually. So Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Lopez is a bit further along, but Haney's a blue chip prospect as well. I'll start with you. See, who do you think's? How do you think that fight's going to play out? First of all, and how yeah. Who do you think?
I think it's potentially a very good fight, a very close fight. I think if they were to fight tomorrow, I think Lopez wins fairly. I say the word comfortably quite loosely.
I say fairly easy,
No. I say comfortably quite loosely. When I say comfortably, I mean there wouldn't be any shocks or any. No. I just don't think there would be any controversy within the fight. I think it would be a clear, possibly decision win for Teofimo. I think maybe a couple of years down the line, it could be a little bit more competitive. I think Teofimo is probably a little bit further ahead as things stand at the moment. And we'll probably see a little bit more what he can bring when he fights.
Yeah, no. Let's assume they've both reached their peak. Who's winning that? How's it going? Who's winning?
It's difficult to say because I don't think Haney's at his peak at all. And I don't even think Teo is either. I think both of them have got so much more to give before we even have that conversation of either of them being at their peak. From what I've seen at the moment, I've got to go with Teo because I think he's just a more polished fighter at the moment who's a little bit further down the line. I genuinely do. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's potentially going to be one of the biggest names in boxing in the next few years. I think he's that good. Teo for me.
You have Teo beating Loma as well, don't you?
And Sugar Ray Robertson.
Well, I think for me, the way that I'm phrasing the Teo Loma fight is if Teo beats Loma, I would not be surprised. I think the expectation is that Loma would be a little bit too good, and he probably is, but I wouldn't be surprised. Was that?
When you got a favourite, you got a favourite.
I do. But genuinely, I wouldn't be surprised.
Bias is real. If you're gonna say, I think if you're saying if he beats Haney, that's cool. But to say he beats Loma, you're saying that Teo.
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, if you're saying that Teo beats Haney because he's further along, look how much further along Loma is to Teo. It shouldn't even be a.
Well, one of the things I was about to say was that if the Loma Teo fight happens in 18 months, then I would I would be a lot more confident in saying that Loma would probably lose that match based on certain decline. I think now he's at that point where Loma could still be on one side or the start of another. And this could be a masterstroke for Teofimo if he catches Loma at the right time. I'm just saying that I would not be surprised if he pulls it out of the bag and does beat Loma. But I think the expectation is for Loma still to win. I just wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't.
But back to the Haney thing, Bex. Who have you got? Bex, Lopez?
You know already, man. Haney all day. The thing is, though, I still see him as both prospects, even though you man are saying that you feel like Tio's a little bit more ahead. I don't really think that there's that much in it, to be honest. I think they're roughly the same age. I don't know what the age difference is, probably about 2 years max. But, I think Haney's got the complete skill set, whereas I feel Tio's more of a knockout artist. Whereas if you're going to put them both in the ring and he's going to go 12 rounds, it's Haney all day. And I think Haney can dance around him as well. So Haney for me, definitely.
Would you reckon, so?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything Beck said. I think Haney's just going to get better and better. I think he's got, looking at the raw skill set, I think he's got more tools in the bag as well. And, if we're saying prime for prime, this fight's probably about 3 years in the making. I think Haney definitely for me as well. Be the favourite.
Yeah, I feel like Haney is the more well-rounded guy. Tio's the more explosive, sort of eye-popping guy. So, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. It's hard for me to say. I'm terrible with predicting things as it is with active fighters. So, let alone a future fight. But I lean towards Haney's well-roundedness. I think he can improve. Tio, before his last fight, which was spectacular, he didn't look the most convincing. But again, that's learning fights, and that's what happens when you step up. I mean, David, do you share them sentiments? Do you have an idea of how that fight would play out and who you'd favour?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really disagree with you guys because I mean, I guess you already know what it is. Nah, I think with the fight, I think it's one of them things where, like you all said, because Haney is well-rounded and you can see the potential there, you can see the quality in him. He just hasn't realized that potential yet. It's just whether or not he actually gets to the point where he can realize the potential. And if he becomes the fighter we assume him to be, then I would expect him to beat Teo Lopez. Obviously, Hasib didn't like that comment, so he decided to walk away. But it's all good. But yeah, I can't disagree with you guys.
Yeah, let's just hope we just see that fight. Do you know what I mean? So if we do, I think it will be an exciting time. Hopefully, it's a lucrative fight, and hopefully, fans are allowed to actually see that fight.
Just a quick question on that. Out of the guys in that division, so Haney, Garcia, Tank, Lopez, are we saying the top two based on this dream fight? Are we saying that Haney and Lopez are the top two in that division at the moment?
Not yet.
No.
I can see them both being the ones.
Tank's still got to be the top, really, hasn't he? Based on, career.
Are you talking outside of Loma? Yeah.
Outside of Loma, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Loma's top of the tree, but
Yeah. Loma, then Tank, then for me anyway. But I know we already discussed where you think Lopez is, Hasib.
It's top.
And you think Ryan Garcia is better than Tank Davis as well?
No, I retracted that a long time ago. Before Garcia started getting on Twitter.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, let's get to the next one. So we've got a fun mythical match, which I think they kind of just missed each other by maybe a year or two. We got Antonio Margarito v Marcus Maidana, 147. So peak for peak. I'm just gonna say it will be a sick fight for as long as it lasts. I personally just see Margarito grinding him down because of his length. Maidana's a savage, but I feel like Margarito will break him down to the body and outlast him, personally.
Is that with gloves or without gloves?
Loaded.
Loaded gloves or not?
Without loaded gloves.
Whatever you consider Margarito's peak, I'm picking him.
I think look,
personally, I feel like Maidana if you're going peak for peak, the peak for me for Maidana was against Floyd. That's the peak. So he showed in that fight that he's got more than just the heart and the guts. He has got a bit of a boxing brain where I feel like Margarito hasn't. So I would edge with Maidana personally.
I was torn on this one because I like Margarito, regardless of the hand wrap situation. I'm not.
How can you like her?
How can you like someone who's a scumbag?
Hey, look, I like to style. I like to style.
Nothing to like about Margarito.
Come forward. He didn't really. He had no regard for himself. It was beautiful. It was beautiful when it lasted. Obviously, the way he dismantled Miguel Cotto, like, you know what I mean. That was really good. But I think,
Are you kidding me?
I said,
Are you kidding me?
Bash them up, tore them apart, and then
he had fucking bricks in his gloves. That's why he bashed him.
So I think in this matchup, I think Maidana wins simply because I think similar to what Beck said in terms of his ability to box a little bit and the way Maidana can find them angles, man, them angles with them shots. He even caught Flo with that a couple of times as well. You know, his overall heart. Yeah, I think he just got a little bit more to his arsenal, and I think that's why I would pick Maidana ahead of Margarito.
End of the day, if Maidana was that dangerous, Floyd wouldn't have fought him.
Twice.
You know, I think I'm going with Margarito as well. I think just the work rate, come forward style. I don't think we see Maidana in with anybody like that. Actually, trying to think of it.
Guy was so slow.
I don't think we did. I think the range with Margarito, yeah, he was slow, but he'd plod forward, he'd take your punches and just literally just pummel you down. And I could easily see, as Henry said, him working the body, breaking Maidana down round by round, and yeah, Maidana getting taken out. I can't see that Maidana has okay boxing skills, but it's all rough and tumble, punches around the back of the head, grappling, you know, and that's right up Margarito's street. So he'll meet you in the middle of the ring and do that with you, and outpunch you and outland you the same way.
If you made the argument that Margarito the weight would be an advantage, then I'll give you that. But apart from that, I don't see anything else.
Not just the weight, but it's the size as well, man. I mean, it's a shame
that's
that
what I mean. The weight, size, yeah, that's
it's a shame that the trajectories of their careers were completely different, and we missed potentially a great fight because obviously when Maidana was coming up, Margarito was obviously coming off and he got battered by Pac at the end. But I just think Margarito, if we're talking prime for prime, I think his size, his weight, he was a big dude, a really big dude. He can control that range, and I think even as good as Maidana is and how much punishment he can take, I do favour Margarito quite a bit in this fight. I think it's potentially a great fight.
Control the range. What range
with his size?
Have?
Dude, he was still a hell of a lot bigger than Maidana.
He had no regard for any of that. He just came forward, wanted to bang you out. That's all he wanted to do. He had no regard for boxing ability, no regard for skill. You're
talking about guys who are much bigger or similar size, like Cotto. I'm talking about Maidana, who's quite a small dude compared to Margarito.
I think Margarito, to me, looks like about 6 foot. And Maidana and Cotto look around the 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
So, you know, I
That's
think
5 inches.
Yeah, good reach. Yeah, good reach there. I think I think you keep Maidana at range with the output easily. I can easily see this,
the ability to really leverage that range. You know, as David said, he kind of fights with his face. So all of that range went out the window when he started slugging. So me, that's going to neutralize it, and it's going to make it the same fight that Maidana would need to fight to win. It's going to be a slugfest, and that's where he's going to perform best. And for me, he would have beat Margarito. I didn't really rate him anyway, so.
Do you know what edges it? What edges it for me more than anything? When we look at their peaks, I feel like Margarito was the more durable, and I think that will be the difference. Maidana was an animal and like tough as hell, but we saw he could get touched, he could get hurt, and he'd show that. Until Margarito was undressed by Shane Mosley, that guy was walking through everything. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I go.
And
So what are we saying? Is that
he
what,
walks through.
three?
He walks through a lot of Shane Mosley bombs as well. Who got taken out. He was literally taking clean haymaker after haymaker before he finally crumbled.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He needed the brick gloves to get the job done. So
Even Pacquiao, didn't he? He let Pacquiao. Even after that,
Yeah, let Pacquiao
let
tee off for
Pacquiao
fun. Literally,
take his eyesight. Man.
5-punch combos in his face and just keep walking forward. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Broke his
So-
face, man.
So what we saying? Three of us: Margarito and Bex and David. Maidana, yeah. Maidana.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So last fight for the week. So this is a good one. Big British heavyweight mythical match. So Lennox Lewis, one of our all-time greats, all-time heavyweight greats against our current best heavyweight, current pound for pound heavyweight champ, Tyson Fury. Go on, David. We'll let you start. How's this going? Lennox v Fury.
Man, this is a good one. I like this one. I'm gonna have to go on the basis of the fact that Lennox Lewis was a guy who was athletic for his size. He can box. He knew to get in and out of range. He's a big puncher as well. I think I'm gonna edge Lennox Lewis because of his punching power compared to Fury. I'm not saying Fury can't punch, but it's just Lennox Lewis has better punching power. You could argue that Fury has obviously better feet and is more athletic, but I think Lennox just got too much, man.
Go on, whoever wants to jump in.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, to be honest. I think it'd be a good fight. Obviously, it'd be an amazing fight, but I think Lewis has just got a little bit more in the toolbox, definitely in terms of power. Yeah, he's been there many times before with great fighters. You know, he's proven he can beat all these top guys. I think just based on that alone, obviously Fury's career is not done yet. He could wipe the floor with Joshua, wipe floor Wilder again, and he's got a good case himself. But I think just right now, looking at prime for prime, I find it hard to think Fury could beat Lennox. Even if he tried to frustrate him, Lennox would find a way to cut the ring off. Lennox is a patient fighter in himself. He can play that game as well and put his punches together. I think, he's so versatile. I can't really see how Fury could do that one.
Close fight. Really, I think it would be a really close fight. I would lean, if I had to, I would lean towards Lewis potentially stopping Fury late on. But saying that, I'm not even convinced that we've seen the prime of Tyson Fury yet. I think his last fight was probably his best performance that we've seen today. And that was with one training camp with
Andy Lee.
Over in Germany. I think
Yeah, Sugar Hill and Andy Lee.
Yeah, Sugar Hill, yeah. That was with one training camp. So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to stay in the same camp moving forward, but I'm not convinced we've seen the prime of Tyson Fury. And if that's the case, and if he does go on to beat Joshua, and if he does go on to beat Wilder again, and if he does maybe beat one or two upcomers, and if he's improving constantly, then I don't know. I think there's a very good case for Fury to beat Lewis. I think as things stand right now today, then I would probably lean towards Lewis based on the skill set that he has. Obviously, when he was destructive, he can be very destructive and explosive. But he had that boxing IQ as well, and his opposition, his CV, obviously is filled with some really good quality fighters as well. I just don't think it would be an easy fight. Certainly not an easy fight. And actually, I'm not convinced that we've seen the prime Tyson Fury yet. And if that's the case, then it might swing the other way.
I mean, do you know, I think the only thing that's left to see from Fury in terms of improvement is cleaner kind of knockout work, if that makes sense. In terms of having that punch power to sort of take man out. And with Wilder, he kind of dirty boxed him and roughed him up and made him tired and all that. He's not doing that to Lennox. Lennox is, a lot stockier than Wilder. Lennox can box comfortably. Going
Lennox
backwards.
did Lennox ever face somebody as big as Fury? 6'9"?
No, not 6'9". You had Vitali.
Yeah, Vitali's quite big, isn't he?
Yeah, Vitali, which, you know, a couple of inches. It was quite big, and there was one or two others. But in terms of, you know, if Fury wants to sort of dance around and feint and, you know, box with Lewis, I think what's key is that Lewis isn't these guys today. You know, Fury's IQ is quality, is top notch, but I think that's exacerbated by how the rest of the top heavyweights' IQ isn't that great. Lewis is a different kettle of fish in terms of IQ, in terms of punching power. I do think it'll be an ugly fight, though. I feel like Fury's smart enough to make it scrappy. But yeah, I just think Lewis's cleaner work will probably get a decision. I wouldn't necessarily say take him out, but yeah, I think he'll get a decision. What do you reckon, Bex?
Yeah, I think I agree with most of what you guys have just said, to be honest. The only way that Fury could win that fight really is to either hurt Lewis and get a TKO, because I can't see him getting a knockout or decision. And I think Lewis has got too much IQ. Looking at both their records today,
Yo, competition gets soft when we breaking them off. Tell the fast back off that you want the guitars. To the chest, no rest. Tell me next to me, John. Come test, player pass me the ball. We don't run from the law. It's the law. God, we don't run from the law. It's the law. God, we don't run from the law. It's the law. God, we don't run from the law. You're irrelevant, you the consuming you and your delegates. Fellowship, me and my trooper, we keep intelligent, elegant. Heavy shit dropping just like an elephant. Pelican, assassinate the nation for the hell of it. We don't run from the law, it's the law. God.
Okay, who you bring from the past, dig him up, I'd beat him, so.
Yeah, he's top of the tree now, so it makes sense. And I think it's a testament to what he's done, the fact that we can even make this mythical match. Do you know what I mean? Because you probably get laughed at if you were like Wilder v Lewis, AJ v Lewis. Like,
2 or 3 years ago, that was never a conversation that we could have had.
Yeah.
Nah, man, he's turning it around. He's turning it around big time.
Yeah. So let's hope, this year him and Wilder can get that fight out of the way, and then if AJ can get past Pulev, then Fury's got the chance to prove that he's the undisputed, and he can become the undisputed, and then he can face the can man Dylan White
in 2025.
Yeah. Hey, listen, WBC need to stop mugging Dylan White off. That's all I'm saying.
He needs to start saying yes to fights. That's what the issue is.
You're talking rubbish. He's fought Parker, fought Rivas, knocked out.
He's just fighting Joshua's leftovers.
Yeah, and make a career on that.
Carve his own lane.
Andy Ruiz and that.
Andy Ruiz will be next after Povetkin.
That's actually a very good fight. That's the irony.
I'd love to see Dylan White.
That'd be a great fight.
That fight.
Yeah, but he needs a title.
That might be a next mythical fight.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not mythical though. Hopefully it happens.
Yeah. Dylan needs a title shot, doesn't he?
He needs a title shot, man. He deserves one, man.
Yeah. Not to rehash last week, but I did say, look, I completely blame him for not taking that AJ fight. But other than that, the whole WBC side of things, they've mugged him.
Yeah, is the WBU not still active? Can't they just give him a title shot?
No, I think Ricky Hatton's still got that belt still. WBU. But yeah, anyway, we'll you know what we'll do? We'll every couple of weeks we'll do some of these, so we'll brainstorm. If anyone listening or watching has any ideas of some fights they want us to break down, then let us know. But yeah, until then, we'll catch you next time. Take it easy.
Peace.